What I'll do is I will show you level 1 project, which will involve questions and answers. I'm going to share this project file. I'm also going to share this particular PDF and the documents that are required. So let's open Tableau. If you have Tableau public, everybody must be having Tableau public. That's good. If you already have Tableau desktop, maybe a trial version, that is even better. So Tableau trial version holds good only for 14 days. So maybe some of you are yet to install, you can install. Some of you may not have installed a Tableau. Maybe you can work with Tableau public. So question number 1 here is start by linking the customer sales data to Tableau and choose order dataset or order sheet. So this is an XLS file. In that there is a sheet called order. So let me try to choose this customer sales data XLS file. Now there are orders, people, returns. There are three sheets over here. So I'll click on orders sheet. I can see that this is the orders data. There are some rows, there are some columns. You can have a quick look at the data over here. Or a better way to do that is you go to that sheet and look at there is order category, city, country, customer ID, customer name, order date, etc., etc. You have all these details. One of the reasons why Tableau got famous when it was introduced initially, the reasons why Tableau got famous very quickly is most of the order data, sales data, if we want to analyze it from multiple segments point of view, it will be very, very easy if you are using Tableau. Tableau is a hyper active or hyper, what do you call this, ad hoc reporting tool. You can create ad hoc reports very, very quickly without even spending half an hour of time. We can get a lot of information about the data that we have. So this is the data, this is the expected output. We have the expected output already. So that's done with question 1. Question 2 is generate and showcase key performance indicator, including total discount. Basically, by the end of this assignment, you will have a large dashboard. Now, question after the question, we are creating all the components that will get into that question. Generate charts to showcase key performance indicators, including total discount, total profit, quantity, sales, discount, profit, quantity, sales, and we want to name them as important KPIs. So what I want to do is I want to show the total discount and total profit and total quantity, total sales. I just click on that and I directly by clicking, we are not getting the expected output, but still we will try to use this tabular. So as soon as I choose this table, automatically it is mixing all of them as measure values, sum of discount, profit, quantity, sales. And then you can see discount is 1561, 28336, 286, 387, 397, and then 37,873. 37,873, 2,297,000 is the sales. If you want to make columns as rows, rows as columns, you may want to use the swap rows and columns. This is swapping rows and columns. And if you want it in this manner, then you have to use this option fit to the width. So this way you can fit to the width. This formatting is actually by spending a little bit of time, you should be able to get an idea on formatting. The sheet name, we want to name it as KPIs. This is the sheet name KPIs. You can format it a little bit. We will select this, make it bold, and then make it whichever color that we are interested in. And then we may want to change this as well. Maybe make it, let's say something like 20. So that is how it'll look like. And this one also you can format. There's an option called format. You can actually format the fields. You can format the rows, the sheet, the columns, all of them you can format. But this formatting, I'm not really spending a lot of time on it. You should be able to get an idea just by going through the formatting of the rows, formatting of the columns. You should be able to quickly format them, the sheet, rows, and column. Just try that. Overall, this is the output that we are expecting. In fact, you can also keep all these as like you can say, you can add borders also. Total also, you can add a border, and then row divider, you can add a border. Column divider, right now none. We can add a border. Rows, columns, cell values, there is no border. We can add the borders and all that. Just try out these some of these formatting options, because usually formatting depends on what exactly the company's policy is, how we want to format. And it is a kind of one-time job. We don't really spend a hell lot of time on keeping on formatting. It's really the numbers that we are displaying. They should be visible, or they should be in a way that the client is getting the picture that we are trying to paint. Now, this is the second question. The third question is create filters on category, subcategory, region, segment. Ensure only relevant values are shown in each filter and that those filters are applied on all the worksheets using the data source. So what it is saying is you have to create a filter on category, subcategory, segment, and region. If somebody selects a particular category, it should happen that only the subcategories from that category only should be shown. That is rule one. Rule two is wherever category, subcategory, region, segment are used throughout the worksheet. That means if I'm creating the filters in this sheet, it should not happen that the filters are limited to this sheet. Wherever category is used, we want to apply this throughout the worksheet, or maybe finally, if we are creating a dashboard, on that dashboard also these should be applied. So how do you create the filters on category, subcategory, region, and segment? So you click on category and drag and drop it here. It is asking, do you want to select certain or do you want to custom list? I would usually say use all. So basically, we are giving all these options for the user to choose. And then we will also say subcategory. Then I'll say okay. Subcategory also we will say use all and say okay. And then region is also use all and then apply or okay. And then segment is also use all, apply, okay. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that like with these filters are shown, show filter, show filter, show filter, show filter. In fact, you can bring these this side, segment, region, subcategory, category. Category is right at the top. Subcategory is below that. Segment is fine, region is fine. Now, category, instead of that, we can show it as single value drop down list or multiple value drop down list. Drop down is what I want to show. Single value drop down, single value drop down. What is single value drop down? At a time, you can select one of those. And then I would say single value drop down. Now, what's happening here is if I choose furniture, I have all these subcategories in it. If I choose office suppliers, again, all these subcategories, these are not changing. So the option that we have to choose here is only relevant values. So if somebody chooses office suppliers, only relevant values are shown here. If somebody picks up furniture, only relevant values. If I choose technology, only relevant values. Similarly, segment also only relevant values I want to show. Region also only relevant values. Based on whatever the user picks up here, only relevant values should be shown. If the user picks up all, then all of them are relevant values. That is one more option. And the next question is, make sure that the filters are applied on all the worksheets using the data source. The data source is orders data. All the worksheets that are using this data source, filter should be shown there. If that is the case, then I would click on this and say, apply to all the worksheet related to using this, all using this data source. So you can say all using this data source. This is what we meant to say. Then you will get an extra symbol saying that all the worksheets that are using this data source, they will get this filter. Now, while you're going through this, at any point of time, are you feeling this is really complex? When we are doing it, the beauty of Tableau is it's not really complex. But the thing is, there is so much of drag and drop steps that are involved in this. When we look at them, they look simple. When we recollect or somebody asks us to do them quickly, that is when we will be searching for them. Where are these filters? Where is this option? We know that apply to all worksheet is fine. Every option is there with the right click, with your click of the button. But the problem is you will not be able to recollect what exactly are the steps unless until we practice. One of the questions that I received in the chat window is where can I find this data? As I informed earlier, I'm going to pass on this data to you. I'm going to pass on this file to you. I'm also going to pass on this video that I'm recording right now. Is that fine? All these material that I'm using right now will be passed on to you immediately after this session. So that is question number 3. Question number 4 is choose a value in this category field. Observe that subcategory is displaying only relevant values or not. That we have already seen. If I say furniture, books, chairs, furnishings, tables. If I say office supplies, these are the ones. If I say technology, these are the ones. And not only that, if I choose any one of them, the segment also kind of showing only the relevant values. The relevant values in each of them are connected, especially category and subcategory are the ones which are kind of definitely connected. Only relevant values are shown there. Create a chart to show sales by month and year. So this is year one, year two, year three, year four, and we want to show the sales exactly in this manner, sales by month and year. So I have order date that will give me sale year, like order date 2015, 16, 17, 18. Now I want to show sale by month and year. This is quarter, this is month. So this is monthly sales for 4 years. And we need to show sales. So let me choose the category. First of all, here we have created a filter automatically. This filter will appear everywhere. So category is all. I want to show full data. Or let me do this separately in a new sheet. So I will try to duplicate this sheet and rename it as sales by month. Now here, I would like to say, do not show the filter. I don't want to show the filter. Show filter option is clicked. Now by clicking this is the data that I have. Now sales is here. I'll click on sales. So right now it is coming in the tabular format. I will use this particular chart. So this is every month it shows like this. Probably I will use, let me use this one. This is on the month. Now what we want is within this month, we want kind of demarcation by year. So this is all monthly, 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 monthly. It is coming like this. But the actual chart for 2015, 16, 17, 18, it has to be in 4 different years. So what I'll do is I will try to take the order date and keep it here once again. Now, if you see here, there is a demarcation on the year. There is a, again, monthly sales is shown internally. So if you see monthly show sales is shown internally, and then year on year also, we have seen the one. So we can say this is yearly sales. That I will try to format it a bit. I will say this one, apply, okay. This is yearly sales. This is the data of KPIs, sales by month and year. In fact, within each year, we are showing monthly data. The next question is create a chart to show the profit.
Sorry to interrupt, but the above chart, all the years were segregated from Jan to December. So how to do that, sir?
So that is not done by us, it is done by the data itself. So here in the month that you see, so year first, if you remove year, you have the overall month data. So the first month is January, and then February, March, April, like that. The last month is December 2018. So in this data set, we have, in fact, this is not even the chart that we created initially. So this is how the chart look like. January in quarter one, quarter two, this is how the chart is. So this is the data that we have. Okay. So I have selected a summation of sales. Sales is the one that I have picked. So let me start it from the scratch without anything. So I will delete this, delete this, delete this, and then I will say this filters, I'm just kind of ignoring them for now. So what we want is sales by each and every month, and that segmentation has to happen by year. So how do I do that? First, I'll click on sales. This is the overall sales. Let me bring order date. Automatic segmentation has happened. It is showing yearly sales, but I want the sales to be month wise. So this is month on month sales. Now the only other demarcation that I want is year. Again, I will choose order date. Now this is year and month. Only thing that I need to do is change the chart type. Again, I will bring year, order date, year. So this is the one.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So the name of this whole sheet or the overall, instead of sheet 2, I will call this as sales by year and month. I'll make it bold, make it middle aligned, and then this one apply. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Show the sales by, I think this is a question that we have missed earlier. Create a chart to show profit by each month and year. Earlier it was total sales. Not every time a sale will make sure that you are earning the profit. So the same type of graph, I want to show profit by each year and month. In this case, you can take a duplicate of this sheet. In place of that was earlier was sales, now this will be profit by year and month. Now in the place of sum of sales, I will delete that. I would like to bring profit. I'll put sum of profit. That's it. Not a big deal. So month in the order of 2015, the same graph, but here we see sales being plotted, here profit being plotted. That means here the sales is less and we are having negative profits, which are almost like losses. There are some cases where we have got losses. There are some cases where we have got less profit. Now I will rename this as profit by year and month. Let's go to the next question. Show the sales by each postal code. Show the sales by each postal code, and the expected output goes like this. So I want to see a graph. In that graph, okay, here there is high sales. Here there is a little bit of sales. Here there is hardly any sales. Here again there is high sales. So wherever there is high sales, I want to get a feel just by looking at the graph, like in this area, Bay Area or something, maybe there is high sales. In this area, there is high sales. Again, there is low sales here. So then we want to analyze visually like that. So for you to draw a geographic chart, you have to use that. So this is postal code. Somewhere postal code must be there. So you have city, country, you have geographical variables, you have state, and there is one postal code.
After order ID.
Yeah. So here is the one postal code. You simply click on postal code. Automatically, since it is a geographical variable, so you have ABC, which is like these are all strings. You have numerical values, which are known as measures. These are dimensions. These are dates, and these are geographical variables. And it says these postal codes it has not understood. Depending on where you live, depending on where you have installed Tableau, it will pick up a basic default country. Since we are using USA data and the country is set as India, these postal codes are not matching with Indian postal codes. 631, all the postal codes are unrecognized. I will say pick the postal code from United States, USA, then automatically it will be able to pick up almost all of the only one unknown. I don't really care about that one unknown. Remaining all postal codes are picked up. That is one way. Or you can also say instead of country or region, you can say from the field. If there is a field called country, or let's say from the field country you may want to pick up, we can give it that also, because I have given the field as country, because country is USA, automatically it will pick up from there. So those are the two options. Either you can hard code it is United States, or if you have the data present in any of the columns, you can again say that using this particular option as well. So let us try to see what exactly is the requirement. The sales should be shown by the postal code. Sales should be like right now, these are all just postal codes. Sales is not in the picture. So I will bring sales. I have to put it on size. These are all same sized bubbles. Now the size will increase or decrease based on the sales. Now I can adjust the size. This is the default size. I'll try to make it this way. The size is kind of larger when sales is high, size is smaller when sales is low. Now the map that we want is not exactly this one. We want to change the background of the map. So there are something called map options. You can choose, and you can also use something called background layers. In background layers, you have the style light or dark or normal or the streets or outdoors. If you want the streets, it'll look like that. If you want the outdoors, this is one type of map. If you want satellite picture, this is another type. The reason why I think looks like this is all hilly area, that's why there is no sales there. But the one that we are looking for in the dashboard is this one. So this is exactly what we wanted. The data should be somewhat like this. We can also change the colors a bit. So slightly lighter colors. If you want to add a border, maybe you can add a light border as well. Again, I'm not going a lot into this formatting because that is endless. You can keep on trying. But overall, this is the sales by postal code. Control B, and then I'm just saying that apply. Okay. So this is sales by postal code. I think we are kind of showing similar to what is the expectation. Yeah. The next one is create a graph to display the quantity sold by each region, include category wise breakup as well. So region is central, east, south, west. These are four regions. Now I want to show the quantity sold by each region, but within quantity sold, I want to show category as well. Furniture, how much I have sold. Office supplies, how much I have sold. Technology, how much I have sold. So within each region, again, I'm showing further segmentation as well. Maybe if there is a glaringly visible picture that office supplies, maybe in this region, I'm only selling office supplies, then we will get to see that easily. So let's go ahead and draw this chart as well. Let me rename this as sales by postal code. Always, it's a good idea to have a clear information about what is your dashboard wherever possible. If a new data scientist, somebody else, or if your manager is looking at your Tableau file, they should understand what is happening in each of the sheets. So let's rename them as sales by month and year, year and month, sales by year and month. This is the one. This is sheet one where I'm showing KPIs. Now let's go here and try to create a graph by displaying quantity sold by each region. I'll click on region. The advantage in Tableau is most of the things will happen with just a button click. Now, sometimes that turns out to be a very big disadvantage because not every time we want to click and do. Maybe sometimes when we are writing the code, that is when we get the perfect output that we are looking. Sometimes just by clicking a button in Tableau, overall the chart totally changes. That kind of becomes irritating sometimes. But to create something quickly, Tableau looks like a good option. But if you want to deploy it at enterprise level with a button click, you don't want to change a lot of things. So you have region, and then you want to show the quantity sold by each region. There is a variable called quantity. I'll click on that quantity. This is the quantity sold by each region, and we are looking for this type of chart. And we will say fit to height to make this chart look like this. Now, this is quantity sold by each region. I want to have category wise breakup as well. There is something called category somewhere here, which we have earlier used category. So if you want category wise breakup, you put it on color. This is the category wise breakup. If you want to show quantity sold by each category, you can put it as label. You can also put category on label as well. Now, when I'm doing it, I'm holding control. Like if I directly do this, it will go from color to that one. So what I'm doing, for example, once again, let me show you that. If I want to show labels, let's say I want to show sum of quantity as label as well. Now, if I directly drag and drop on this one, the graph is gone. Now again, I did control Z. Now I'm holding control. What it'll do is it'll copy that and it will keep the original column as it is here, original field that you have selected. It will do this extra. Now you're getting what I'm trying to say? So this is the original graph. If I directly put it on label, I'm losing the original graph. But if I directly drag and drop it on here, and then it will be the original sum of quantity will be shown as well as it will be shown as label. Now category is on the color. I want to show it as label also. Technology office supplies furniture, technology office supplies furniture. Now I'll rename this, or first I will rename this as, what is this? Quantity sold by each region. So let me say, rename that as quantity sold. Automatically, this should appear. Maybe I'll just put it in the middle and try to format it as usual. Quantity sold. Now create a dashboard by using all the above visuals. Hardly within 30 to 40 minutes, we are able to create a dashboard. Sometimes this is exactly the dashboard, some of the KPIs, quantity sold by each region, yearly profit, yearly sales, and the overall sales by postal code. And there are some filters that the companies are looking for. Whatever you see here, this whole dashboard, this was one of the assignment given to one of our old students when that student was attending an interview. He cleared the first round. Before he could get through the second round, they have given him an assignment. Do you also know some companies give you an assignment? They will ask you to complete it within 2 days, and then you are supposed to submit the final result. Based on that, they will try to take your assessment. Whenever you get such assignments, the best thing that you should do is never take help from anybody else, or do not give it to someone else to finish that assignment, because the companies are not really looking for the solution of that assignment. They're looking for your approach. Maybe take help, take all the guidance, but try to complete. Even if you're completing only 30% of it on your own, that is more beneficial than providing a 100% perfect solution, but you're not in control of it. So this is the final dashboard that they are looking for. For us to reach the dashboard, I will click on the new dashboard. Automatically KPIs are shown. Automatically sale by year is shown, profit by year is shown, and sales profit is shown, quantity sold is shown. All of these are shown here, and this is the basic format the dashboard appears like. We will try to adjust this dashboard based on the way that it appears. So the KPI should be at the bottom according to the instruction that was given.
Sir, can you please repeat this?
All right, let's me go to, so this is what we have created until now. We have to create a dashboard. For the dashboard, here there is an option called new dashboard. I will click on new dashboard. Now, can you see sheets on the left-hand side that are appearing? All the sheets that we have created, KPIs is a sheet,
Yes,
sales
sir.
by year and month. So by just double clicking on those sheets, the sheets will enter our dashboard. This is a sheet, this is a sheet, this is a sheet, this is a sheet. Now this is by default. I am using as it is. When I click on a sheet, they'll somehow adjust and they somehow try to find some space on this dashboard. You can change the size of the dashboard. You can make the dashboard font type, or you can go to layout, change the size of the dashboard. I will try to change the size of the dashboard to maybe fixed size. Actually, if you are using a different version of Tableau, you will have a lot of other type of options as well. So right now I would like to increase the width. This is the width that I would like to have in this dashboard. Now we will try to go back to the original format. The KPIs should come in the bottom. So I'll hold these KPIs and slowly I will try to post them here when I see that there is, like, if I keep it here, it will come as half of this. So maybe I'll try to adjust it a little later. If I keep it maybe here at the right at the bottom. So this is what I want. So again, I'm kind of, there is no direct option for this. You will hold this and then you keep on searching, you keep on moving. You see here, the moment you reach like this, since you want both of these panes, both of these halves, once you get to this level, you just drag it, drop it, it'll come like this. Then what I'll do is I'll try to push it further down, further down. Maybe I want these numbers to be shown, discount, profit, quarterly sales, etc., etc. These are the small KPIs that I want to show. Maybe I'll go to this particular quantity sold. I would like to remove the labels here because somehow those labels are becoming too much inside the dashboard. They're not looking that great. So I'll remove those labels. Maybe category label, I'll try to see whether that looks good in the dashboard or not. Yeah, category label is fine. The other label is not looking good. Anyway, this label is here, so I will remove category label also. So label is anyway there, furniture, office supplies, technology. Now we are not yet done. Yearly sales must be there. So yearly sales, sales by year and month, that should be on the top side. Sales, yearly profit should be below that. Yearly profit should be below that. And then sales by postal code is here. That's good. Quantity sold and region should be below that. So I'll hold this and I will take it here. Now this is the dashboard, sales by year and month, profit, like the client who gave you this project. They're looking for the overall sales year on year. They're looking for profit year on year. Location wise information. Maybe I will try to adjust this by postal code a little bit size. I will try to reduce it so that we can get a slightly better picture here. And then quantity sold, how much we have sold by each region category wise, and some important KPIs like discount, overall profit, quantity 37,000, sales, etc. This is what we have. Now, the only thing that we require is we need a container for us to write some text in this. So what we want to do here is we want to add some text. So I have got the virtual container, I put it there, and then I put some text in it. What is that? Sales dashboard.
So just by dragging the vertical container, we can adjust it.
But we need to look for that kind of what do you call, like, once we reach that place, we have to make sure that it is kind of panning this whole thing. Okay.
No,
So,
no, sir. My doubt is, how do you create this container? Like
so,
after creating the dashboard, I have to just drag the
so there
vertical
is,
container.
yeah, there is vertical container, right? So that is the
Okay,
one that you have
okay,
to
sir.
drag it
Okay,
over
sir.
there. Now within that, this text is given. Now within that, we will try to put the text and we will try to adjust this text and so that it comes right in the middle. And then, so all this formatting thing, there is no way I can actually teach or train. It comes just by pure practice. Even after showing this multiple times, there's no shortcut for this because this is just formatting. So we have to observe, we have to practice a couple of times, then only we will get. So this is my sales dashboard. I'll try to make it even with a different font, probably, to make it look different from the rest of the ones. Probably a different color. Maybe this is the sales dashboard, sale by year, sale by month, postal code, etc., etc. This is the final output that is expected. So that is the, and use the quantity sold by region as a filter. That means what we want to do is if somebody select this, automatically the rest of the ones, let's say in central region, in furniture category, I want to see the sales, profit, and how I made sales by postal code. That means I want to know furniture in central region, how it is faring, and automatically the discount, profit, quantity, sales, all of them should change. Then you can say this particular graph, there is an option called use as filter. Use as filter. Now this graph becomes a filter. When I click on it, automatically the sales in central region for office supplies is 163,927, and there are too many losses in central region for furniture category. There are too many losses. Maybe we can highlight this point to the client. Overall, there are not many losses. Overall, if you see, if you try to look at anything else, maybe there are not many losses. Maybe if I'm comparing in central region, technology wise, there is only one place or one time in September 2015 we incurred some loss. But when it comes to furniture, we have incurred losses in multiple months. So those kind of stories we can tell if the client is asking us to explain this dashboard. And if you want to make sure that everything else is selected, you click on a blank place on that chart, the filter will be gone. And you try to tell the story by showing profits and losses, the quantity sold. Even like if you see that as soon as I go to central region, automatically central region is selected. If I go to west region, in the postal code, all the west related ones, all the east related ones, all the south related ones are highlighted. So that is known as use this graph as a filter. And if you want to unselect that, you click on this somewhere on the blank space. So by clicking somewhere else on the dashboard, you click on this, or maybe we will just yeah. So this is the right click. Once you give the right click on this, it's actually taking 2 3 iterations to do that. Usually once you click on this, automatically everything else should be unselected. So this is one of the simplest, or I would say level one of the dashboard in Tableau. Instead of saying I do not know Tableau at all, instead of saying that I have never worked on Tableau, like this hardly took what 1 hour time for you. And Tableau is a very big extension of your Excel power pivots or Excel power or Excel pivot tables. So instead of saying that I do not know Tableau at all, maybe I encourage you to show at least this level one project. All right. So that completes our first case study or level one project. I will now go to slightly complex one, and it's not very difficult to understand, but that will be little bit more intense than whatever we have discussed here. So this is kind of project one. Before I move on to the next one, are there any quick questions?